So these two theories are similar in some ways, in that they both focus on self-awareness and the freedom to choose. They both also highly value the therapeutic relationship. Um, they are also different in that Gestalt theory holds a belief that self-awareness is enough for the client to heal. And these therapists also use more techniques and more specific type of approaches. Existential theory does not necessarily hold fast to any one specific approach, and these therapists focus more on the existential or big questions of life. So some strengths of this Gestalt therapy include focusing on the here and the now, the present, taking responsibility, maturity, and finishing or talking about any unresolved issues in your life. Some limitations to this approach is having too much confrontation with clients who may not exactly be ready for that or be able to handle that, and not addressing some of the bigger questions of life. And that is found on page 117 in the TAN book. So some strengths of existential therapy include dealing with the larger issues of life, because those are very common issues that we all have. And according to author Tan, focusing on the therapeutic relationship as the central healing factor. Some limitations include being too vague without using a direct therapeutic approach. Some Gestalt approaches align with biblical views, including taking responsibility for your thoughts and your actions and your behaviors, and also being self-aware. However, this could turn into focusing too much on yourself, or kind of being self-absorbed, and when we really need to be focusing on Jesus as Christians. So some existential approaches that align with biblical views include talking about these larger existential questions with, of course, a biblical answer, but choosing these self-chosen, self-directed values for your life, that's not exactly aligned with Christianity. We're supposed to be aligning ourselves with the values that Jesus brought to us. So existential therapy is not compatible with empirical research because it's so vague in that there are not exactly any specific approaches they use. So it's kind of hard to know if we're actually helping the client. Gestalt therapy has had some research done, according to Tan on page 176, but unfortunately it has not shown any significant efficacy compared to some placebo effects in that research. So though we can derive some great techniques from both of these theories and both of these approaches, there's not always a great way to scientifically determine the outcomes for our clients. Plus, incorporating the factor of the willingness of the client, the ability of the client to grow, and just that willingness to do homework and be able to grow, it's kind of hard to really have any empirical data on that. So I thank you guys for listening, and I look forward to watching your video discussions.